Hello, hello, and welcome to Friday Night Fashion. This week is Royal Ascot Week, as if we need reminding.
Indeed, I've just come from the royal show I do talking about Ascot. It's all anyone in London is talking about, so I don't know about everywhere else in the world.
And we have got the Ascot helicopters overhead because they're in and out of Battersea all day this week, so we're just going to keep rolling.
Yes, sorry about that.
But it has been a glorious week so far, and there have been some winners and some losers in the style stakes.
Yeah, but you were there. You were one of the winners in the Royal. Well, you didn't win much money, but you definitely won fashion, I think.
You are really, really kind.
Although you didn't go with the one I voted for.
I made the mistake of putting up 3 different looks onto Instagram to say, which one do you think? And
why was it a mistake?
Then I woke up on the morning of Ascot yesterday when we were going, and 2 days ago when we were going, and I didn't feel it. I didn't feel like wearing the black.
Right.
So I wore the blush, and I'm so glad I did wear the blush.
But when you were even asking for canvassing opinion, you must have kind of in your heart knew which one you really wanted to wear. Anyway.
Do you know what, actually? I was sort of heading towards the black because it was sort of slightly out of the box for me. Big skirt, lacy blouse and a big hat. And then I reverted to the Wakeley bias satin and the beautiful moon band from Jane Taylor.
But if you're going to be hanging out with royalty as Amanda was, our Princess Amanda, you want to feel like yourself. You want to feel...
Totally. Yeah. And the lesson here is wear what feels good. And I woke up and I knew that I wanted to wear the blush because it felt like me, and also the sun was coming up and it just felt like it was going to be a glorious sunny day, and we have been so lucky with the weather.
We haven't seen much black, have we?
Very little black, actually. A little bit of navy, a lot of maxi dresses, like full to the floor.
I think that's really strange when you're going to be grazing lawns the entire day.
Yep. And I have to say my feet are still recovering from 8 hours in heels.
So you didn't do that thing that many avid racegoers do and sort of like hop on the flip-flops for the end of the day?
No, but what was funny is when we were walking out of Ascot at the end of the day, right at the end of the day, I think it was about 7 o'clock by the time we left, there was 2 guys selling flip-flops, and we both looked at each other and said, that is just genius.
Yep.
Because at that stage, all you want to do is just take those heels off.
Although the great irony, a friend of mine texted me earlier to say that she has a whopping great disgusting blister between her big and little toe from the post-race flip-flops.
No,
not from the shoes. So you know,
I love
go careful, everyone. Go careful.
Yeah. But I did notice quite a few girls walking around boxes at the end of the day who will remain nameless without their shoes on, and I just thought, actually, good on you. Good on you.
I don't know if I could do it. I don't know.
I have to say I couldn't, because then you just sort of come back down to earth a bit too much. So,
I mean, you know, this is supposed to be the cream of polite society. Keep your shoes on, please.
But Ladies' Day, maybe less so. But anyhow, we are going to start with day 1 and day 2, because there really were some knockout, glorious outfits.
Do you have a favourite?
Whoa, that's complicated. I've got a few, actually. I think Betty Bash in her satin trouser suit,
pretty cool,
looked really immaculate.
Fantastically unusual colour as well.
Yes, so it's plum satin. Just the whole thing with the Anya Hindmarch bag, just very, very chic. I think the thing with Ascot to me is everything should look really polished.
Yes.
It just feels like a time to be ladylike.
But this is why I think my favourite is Morgan Riddle. I think that to me, it might not be thinking too much outside the box, but that to me is what race attire should look like.
I totally agree, for a change. And I think there's something about Ascot dressing, and you know, I've sort of, when doing this research, I looked at some of the more fashiony guests, and actually it just doesn't look as cool. It looks a little bit, whether it's the, very on trend oversized jackets or whatever, it just didn't feel as polished or as beautiful.
Would you ever wear trousers or a jumpsuit? I think years ago, like 20 years ago, I wore a white tailored trouser suit.
Yeah,
But,
I
yeah.
have absolutely worn trouser suits, jumpsuits. I think they look really, particularly if the trouser is a wide leg trouser,
Yeah.
or a palazzo pant. I think it looks very, very chic, and I'm really glad that they have relaxed the rules a little bit. I'm sorry, I really wasn't buying the Daniel Fletcher lookbook for Ascot. I don't know where that idea came from, but it really
We need the Amanda Wakeley lookbook.
well, available.
Just putting it out there.
Available. But glorious, glorious looks, I thought. So
I really like our Princess Beatrice.
Princess Beatrice.
Wearing the same Zimmerman that apparently Sophie Wessex wore just a few days earlier. Do you think they shared the dress, or is it just a coinkydink?
No, I think it's a coinkydink. Because Zimmerman, let's face it, is just a beautiful, ladylike summer brand. It's also super sexy for more beachy type dresses, but for Ascot, I thought Princess Beatrice looked absolutely beautiful. And talk about polished, and the Roger Vivier shoes, and the Juliette headband. It was just all very spot on.
She really knows what she's doing these days.
She really does, and I think the colouring on her colouring is exquisite. Yeah. Really, really exquisite. I thought Amber Le Bon, in her white satin sort of slip dress and what looks like maybe a Balenciaga jacket.
Yeah.
Sorry, maybe a Balmain jacket even.
I'm just not a major fan of like big gold buttons on the double-breasted. I'm just not.
You're talking to a button phobe.
Yeah, really?
Oh,
I didn't know
my
that.
God, yes. But still, I like the idea.
So what happens when I come in buttons?
I'm getting better. I'm getting better.
I didn't know that. Well, to be honest, I don't often.
You don't.
But yeah,
you don't.
Yeah.
But unnecessary buttons, whew, not good for me.
Yeah. So why'd you pick this then?
Because I actually love the white on white on white.
Yes.
I think really beautifully chic. And I also love these mix of textures.
Yeah.
And I can't blame Amber for wearing a jacket with buttons on it. I just wouldn't do it myself.
I don't know. I just feel like I completely agree with you. Polished, beautiful. I love tone on tone. I think anything where you do like a singular color like that looks really expensive. But she also does look like she's about to captain the Love Boat in that jacket. Do you know what I mean?
Because of the gold buttons.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's focus on the boater style hat. These are huge this year. It's a massive, massive trend, and I love.
Probably my favorite style of hat at any given time of the year or decade.
And I love a little bit of veiling. It's just it adds a bit of mystery, and
hides a few wrinkles.
I really enjoyed. I had this beautiful moon hat from Jane Taylor, and she put a little bit of black netting over it. It just feels gorgeous to wear.
Yeah.
And actually, can I just do a little shout out to our British milliners for a second? Because it's quintessentially British to wear a hat.
Yes.
And a hat to the races. Yes, I know there's Chantilly and the French wear hats, but I think the British do it so well. And so a huge shout out to these milliners who are working round the clock.
Absolutely.
Quite literally at the moment. The Philip Tracys, the Jane Taylors, the Juliettes, the Vivian Sheriffs, all of you girls and boys who are literally working your fingers to the bone. You've done a fantastic job and really made British fashion and British racing look amazing. So
here.
Me. Yeah.
Now Charlotte Hawkins is, to me, Charlotte Hawkins kind of is Ascot. No disrespect to our king and queen, but it's she covers it with my lovely friend Mark Hayes from ITV the entire season, and she always looks so put together.
She does. She looks really polished. She sort of nails it, and in a way that the other presenter that I think really nails it is Francesca Cumani, but she's from the racing world. She's been around racing all of her life, and I think she also looks incredibly polished and chic, perhaps a little bit more fashion than Charlotte. But I do think, on that note, Ascot isn't about high fashion.
No, it's about
not,
tradition.
It's
about
not the
polish.
latest trend.
Yes.
It's about polished and ladylike. But I do agree with you. Charlotte has nailed every day of the week so far.
As we record this, she's absolutely wowing in. I would have said Barbie pink was over, but it's working for her.
But it's that hot pink,
Yeah.
yes. And there was a lot of pink around. And it is very beautiful and very flattering.
As you say, ladylike.
Yeah, yeah. I think Zara Tindall is another girl that's really nailing her style right now.
Where is this dress from? Do you know? Oh, Anna Mason. I love Anna Mason.
Anna Mason used to work for me.
Really? That doesn't surprise me, actually.
We collaborated for, God, many seasons together before she started her label. I loved working with Anna. Our sense of style is slightly different, but we had such a lovely design language together. And I think what she's doing here is gorgeous.
That's so pretty.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know, it's really hot in Britain today. So it's like, it's getting to the point, I'd be a bit worried about wearing that in summer.
But I think, gorgeous, she's doing these gorgeous cottons and linens and all the rest of it, but her prints are very feminine. It's almost like, God, I'm going to say...
like Willie Morris or something like that?
Yes, I was going to say, sort of a wallpaper type print.
Let's have a look at... I do feel sorry for the chaps in those almost Brunel-esque kind of top hats. Do you think any of them really like them?
I think they enjoy the fun of wearing a top hat, but my God, it must be hot.
And you must have to get those fitted properly as well. Yep. Oh, what a ball.
Yep. Rosie Tapner, to me, has nailed it a couple of days this week.
I much prefer that jacket, but again, what's with the big old buttons?
Yeah, a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But then look at her on day one.
Gorgeous.
Absolutely gorgeous with the pearl detailing.
That looks like, is that Simone Rocha? I would hazard a guess.
I think you could be right.
Yeah, and do you think she's doing I mean, gosh, that's a brave woman doing head to toe white for several days in a row.
Very, very, she clearly doesn't have a Labrador.
Oh.
Well, she's getting ready first thing in the morning.
Any plans to have a hot dog and ketchup on the train home? But yeah.
Milliner Lisa Tam.
She looks fabulous.
I think she looks really, really super chic.
I just love that hat.
Yeah. Again, another boater.
I think the outfit, it's like a frock coat dress. I think it's slightly on the heavy side for a summer event, but it is still nonetheless very, very pretty.
It is. And I think she wore that on day one. It was a little bit cooler on day one. And I'm sure she'd planned it for many weeks before.
So funny though, because I wouldn't, if I had an Ascot outfit, I wouldn't be able to look out the window and go, it's a bit colder, I'll change it up. Like you, I would have to commit to whatever it was.
Yeah. And all I will say about Ascot is if you're in the grandstand, it is quite chilly.
Yes, windy, very windy.
Yep.
Yes.
Windy, which is another reason not to wear a big hat.
Excuse me, but how dapper is the matching of our king's tie to his good lady wife queen's outfit?
It's rather beautiful, isn't it? I thought the queen on the first day in that cobalt blue looked, it's sort of Eve Klein blue, isn't it?
And his is the first one of those hats that upsets me so that looks like it fits properly.
Well, if the king can't wear a hat that fits properly, then who is going to?
But he is very stylish, Charles.
He is. He is.
And he's very good at sustainable style and wearing something, like, not having a ton of things, but loving what you've got. Yeah. He's the poster boy for all of that stuff.
He is indeed. Yeah. I loved Layla Whitehead, I thought.
Beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. Although she is standing there saying, look at my Birkin.
Oh, but maybe it's just a case of what am I supposed to do with all of this while you take my picture? Because I've definitely suffered from that from time to time. But that hat is incredible. It's in one of my favorite shades of green.
Yep, proper emerald.
I love that it's like she's topped and tailed it with the emerald shoes.
Yes, I thought super chic.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know what else is she supposed. She's probably, you know what? If I could afford a Birkin, maybe I'd want everyone to see it as well.
Here's my Birkin.
Yes. Yeah.
Pratika in her navy Bardot neckline suit.
It's very chic.
Super, super chic. It's got buttons, admittedly, but the silhouette of that is absolutely beautiful. And I love the way that she's wearing the paler shoe.
Yes, I love that.
I think that
I
works.
always like
it just
a paler shoe.
Makes it a little bit lighter and fresher because you've got navy hat, navy suit. And she certainly knows how to pose.
Gorgeous.
She?
Now I know
got the hands on the hips.
Well, she's apparently
contouring,
a big beauty influencer, particularly in India. So,
well, she
knows a thing or two about being photographed.
She does know how to pose, doesn't she?
Yeah. Now, I just want to show you, because I know that earlier on I slagged off puff sleeves. I think everyone needs to get over puff sleeves on tops, dresses, everything. However, I'm loving it with Zara's sort of like bolero. Oh, no, that's not the same. You know that's not the same.
I know.
That is not a Little House on the Prairie vibe. That's a really cool sort of like Japanese kimono-y vibe. I'm not even backtracking. I mean everything I say. So, but do you know what I mean? I'm just a bit, I just think it makes a lot of people, me included, look like a big, oversized, scary doll from a horror film rather than a pretty young lady. I think unless you are young, it just makes it look like you haven't bought anything new in 50 years.
But can I just say, Zara Tindall, day one in that Laura Green puff sleeve dress.
I love the hat.
Does look immaculate.
She does, and I really love the hat. Would you call that? Is that a boater or is that a bolero?
Well, it is a boater, but it's a it's a boater-esque, isn't it?
Because it's got. I would say the brim is giving me sort of like Spanish vibes. Yeah,
yes,
I love it.
But also, I love the way that the brim is punctured. So you get that lovely sort of
dappled light on your face, and it would create interesting little shadows around you. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, and I have to say the whole royal party looks so immaculately groomed too.
Well, she has to say that because she was with them, but it's also true.
Don't print that. And I have to say, Ladies' Day, this is where it often goes really, really wrong.
But why do you think that is?
It just feels like people try way too hard, get way too theatrical, and actually want their pictures in the press.
Well,
for all the wrong reasons.
I don't know.
Why do you think, Jo?
Well, no, I think I'm not sure if it's for all the wrong reasons. I think for you've got your picture everywhere all the time. That's probably quite an amazing, exciting moment for someone. So they're just going to make damn sure, and that's why they're going to put the burger hat on their head.
And there is a burger hat.
No, I saw it.
There really is.
Yeah.
Well, I was about to be rude, but I won't be.
Wow.
The hats do get supersized.
I mean, that is like this
Day.
One is pure panto, isn't it?
Well, the whole look is pure panto. So all white. Yes, with the train blowing in the wind, with the panto ostrich feathers.
It's almost a bit like if the Admiral car insurance guy was going to Ascot.
Can we talk about this one?
Well, I actually think the dress is quite pretty.
But again, I mean, these maxi dresses.
Yeah, I know.
I say this, I'll probably wear one next year. But
I really like the cape, and I think the cape might look a bit funny if that dress was shorter. Do you know what I mean? But, but I don't like the hat again.
Yeah, the hat just is a little. I mean, it's like that squirrely one.
It doesn't look like a hat.
Put on our hat edit last week.
Don't be so rude, because it's nothing like that absolute vision of chicery that I found.
Oh, we have a chessboard on head.
And
now we have a burger with tomato ketchup flowing out of the bottle.
Well, it reminds me of when Katy Perry dressed up as a burger in Taylor Swift's Calm Down video. So maybe she's just a Swiftie and getting the most out of an outfit that she's also going to wear to the concert. Oh, wow. That's the kind of thing that once upon a time Bjork would have worn to the Oscars, though, in fairness.
That poor owl.
It's not look at that owl's having its best life.
Really?
Oh, I think
it's trying to fly away, Jo.
I kind of love that. That's giving me K-pop, and I'll never be angry about that.
There we go.
Oh, that's Louise Rowe.
Yeah,
that's pretty. And again, I love that style of hat.
Now,
what are dots this year?
I have to say, but there always are polka dots. Somehow, I think it's sort of Audrey Hepburn.
Yes.
My Fair Lady.
Yes. Summery, cherry.
Yes. Just all of that. Now, I think I've noticed Louise Rowe has been all week, and I have to say, this is the best outfit of her week so far.
I love what she's done with her hair under that hat. I like that. Very,
very chic. Now here we have a lady in a top hat and tails.
Is that even allowed?
Yes,
Has
it is.
Ascot gone?
Yep, Ascot has
full
gone
fluid gender.
completely.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
Completely fluid. There she is.
Kind of love that.
Yeah, she looks super, super chic.
Yep.
Super chic.
Oh, do you know what? I like that pink dress, but I don't like it with those wedges. But yeah.
But you know, the shoe thing is quite complicated.
It can be, yeah, because you don't want to be sinking into the lawn all the time.
Tell us what you think. Join us next week for Friday Night Fashion. We are going to be reviewing our best looks from Pride Month because there have been some incredible outfits on display.
And by which time I will have been to the Taylor Swift concert, so I can imagine that I'll see quite a lot there. I can't wait.
I want a full review on that. Maybe we should do a Taylor Swift looks.
Yeah, it's my Ascot. I've got 2 outfits that I need to decide between.
Oh,
yeah.
I think, Joe, you need to do an either or.
Maybe I will, and then just see what I'm feeling tomorrow. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I hope you've enjoyed this episode. We are loving Ascot Week, and we will see you next week.
And do let us know your thoughts in the comments, and please do like and subscribe because it helps us to keep making Friday Night Fashion.